Hello, my name's Stuart, this is Scotland FX. Thanks very much for joining me on this video. First things first, I'm at 99 subscribers, so you know who you are. Thank you very, very much. If you're not a subscriber and you're watching this video and you like the content, please subscribe. I'll keep you up to date with all my content. It's more like a vlog, if you like, rather than a YouTube channel. This is like a vlog. I'm recording my journey to hopefully become a fully FTMO funded trader. If you like the idea of that and you want to follow along and look at my strategy and an honest vlog, if you like, video log of what I'm doing, the wins, the losses, the good, the bad and the ugly. I'm not going to do about this face, I'm sorry. Follow along, subscribe, and I'll keep you up to date with what I'm doing. So that's what I can say about that. So this video, very quickly then. FTMO, if you've not seen the last video, I'll quickly recap. I bought into the FTMO 50k challenge and I was down 9.5%. Although the strategy itself follows some basic trading rules and wasn't bad at all, there certainly was flaws in it, but there's flaws in every strategy. Someone tells you got 100% bulletproof, faultless strategy, they're either don't know what they're doing or they're lying. There were certainly faults to it, but that wasn't the big problem. The big problem was me. I find it hard not to be emotionally involved in my trades. When I did the same strategy on the demo account, I knocked the demo account out of the water, made 10% in like 6 days. You only needed 5%. I did that in like 2 days, and I got up to 10% in 6 days. And I thought, yeah, great, buy the FTMO challenge. And then I went horribly wrong. And I realised it was because when I had a belief that, with the problem with the demo account is you're like, well, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, I'll just do another demo account. But when you've paid £300 to do the FTMO challenge, you think, I don't want to throw that away. I don't have a lot of money. I've been on lockdown, for the last year I've worked for about 2 months. I'm back to work now just, but I've not got money to throw away. So that was always at the back of my head. And as a result, I found myself I couldn't be dispassionate about my trades. That meant I was eager to get any trades when I thought, oh, this is looking good, and I was trying to get ahead of the curve and then go against me because I wasn't sticking to my strategy properly, and then the strategy didn't, the indicators or the price action didn't play out to allow me, and I shouldn't have got into that trade in the first place. Or alternatively, I was actually in profit and I was like, oh, if I hold it a bit longer I can make a bit more because I think it's going to keep going, and then it's suddenly go massively and quickly against me, and I end up taking a loss, and that kept happening over and over again. So although the strategy wasn't perfect, it certainly was flawed, but I think the biggest problem was my emotional attachment to my trades and to my FTMO account. So that was a big problem. So I realised that what I was looking for, what I felt I really needed, was more of an indicator-based strategy rather than previously it was a price action-based strategy. An indicator-based strategy that would allow me to follow a set of rules so exactly that I had no input. I had no input whether to take a trade or not. I was the mechanism, my finger pushing the button was a mechanism to initiate a trade or to exit a trade. But that was almost my entire input. The strategy was very, very clear. If the strategy does this, get in or get out. If it does that, get in or get out. And I should have no input other than I've designed the strategy, I've backtested the strategy to unbelievably, the whole weekend I must have done 600, 800 trades, different pairs, different time frames, different indicators, different indicator settings, and I've come up with something that feels really, really strong. But the good thing about this is it allows me to trade without emotion. I simply do what the strategy tells me, and I'm literally the mechanism by which that happens by pushing the button, click, 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 and that's it. And almost have no input on, the strategy is the boss here, and I'm kind of the worker bee, just doing what the strategy tells me. And that's how it should be if you've got a good strategy. And this indicator-based strategy allows me to do that. So, that being said, if that all sounds good, I'll let you know where I'm currently on FTMO. Well, I was going to say on FTMO, I implemented this strategy scalping, and I actually gained back 9.5% in 3 days, which was crazy. A lot of risk involved because I was scalping the 1 minute time frame, but effectively using the new strategy, and it allowed me to finish FTMO $37 in profit, which gave me the chance to have, and on the last day of trading as well. Literally, I got to $37 on the last day of the FTMO trading, then the end date, and that gave me a chance to have a free reset without having to pay another £300. So I'm looking to implement this strategy again on the new FTMO challenge account, I'm not scalping it though as such. I'm moving it to a slightly higher time frame using multi-time frame analysis, and it's all indicator based, and I'm going to stick to it like glue, and hopefully this time I will pass FTMO. So if that all sounds good and you want to come along for the journey, if you haven't done so already, like the video, give it a thumbs up. As I said, this is an honest vlog, my honest journey. If that all sounds good, subscribe to the channel as well, and I'll keep you up to date as and when I release more content. Now, this is my YouTube channel, currently at 99 subscribers, so again, thank you very much for all that, those who have subscribed. I'd love to get above 100 at the end of this video, so if you've watched this and you haven't subscribed, do me a solid, go and subscribe to it. I'm an honest guy, like it, you know, or not, I'm giving you my truth, and that's all I can give you, okay? So that's that. So that's the first thing. Let me switch to what I now do religiously every time I sit at the computer at the beginning of I'm trading the London session, because in case you hadn't guessed, Scotland FX, I'm based in Edinburgh. So trading the London session. So the very first thing I do, I get to my computer and I look at the FTMO calendar. That's it. If you're not trading FTMO, you can go to like forexfactory.com and look at their event calendar for the different pairs or commodities, you know, oil, gas, pound, dollar, yen, etc. So the first thing I do is I make sure I'm not trading around a restricted news event, because that's what caused all the problems on my previous, well, one of the big problems on my FTMO is I set a stop loss at 1%, trading the 1 minute time frame, scalping, but I didn't realize there was a restricted news event on that particular pair that I was trading, and that caused a massive spike. Literally within 1 second the price had moved, and by the time the server caught up and closed my order, because it was beyond my stop loss, I set my stop loss at 1%. I lost 5% on that one trade. The slippage, because it was a massive spike, literally went poof like this, and by the time, you know, the server still closed within like a second, 2 seconds of my trade, maybe not even 2 seconds, half a second, but the price spiked so hard and so fast that the slippage caused a 5x loss. You know, I was risking 1 hour, ended up with a 5 hour loss because of that spike through. So I've learned, good lesson learned. First thing I do is to sit down and I'll look at the FTMO calendar. You can look at Forex Factory. I make sure there's no, certainly no high or medium I'm interested in. Yellow I'm not really too fussed about. To be honest, medium I'm not too fussed about. Red I would still be wary of, but any restricted news events, and you know they're restricted with FTMO, highlights it in blue and actually says in red writing, restricted, do not trade. Can't trade, open or close a trade 2 minutes either side. You can on the trial or the demo, but you can't if you're funded. So I should be trading the way I want to trade if I'm funded anyway, even on the challenge. Excuse me. So I'll have a wee sip of my coffee. Talking away here, dry my throat. So that's the first thing I do. As you can see, like this morning, I can see there's no, there's absolutely, here we are at the moment, there's no news events that I'm worried about. There is a high level news event in 6 hours and 45 minutes from now, so I'm not worried about that for the dollar, in case I'm concerned, but there's no restricted news events, so I should be fine. The next thing I do, this is the order in which I do things. I look at the currency strength meter. This is, I'll put the link to this in the description below. Same for the, well, I'll do the same for Forex Factory for you guys, and also the position size calculator I use as well, okay? The currency strength meter, so this is at live charts. I hit refresh on that, and I'm only going to look at, on my trading platform, I'm only going to look at a pair that should be trending hard. So this tells you what's been happening with a particular currency, say the euro, the pound, dollar, etc., over the last 12 hours. You can see over the last 12 hours the pound has been very strong, yeah. Euro's been, you know, euro and odd, you know, fairly strong. Yen's been really weak, SHIFT's been really weak, NOK's been really weak. So if I was going to now look at my charts, I'm only going to look at, to be honest, pound, yen, pound, SHIFT. Don't NOK, that's, spreads on that are too high. So pound Japanese yen, if I was going to look at it right now, pound Japanese yen and the pound SHIFT. Pound strong, they're weak, so I'd expect to see that those charts, the pound against the yen, a pound against the Swiss franc, I'd expect to see them on a bullish upward momentum. So that's it. I already know now, before I vote my charts, I'm only going to look at 2 pairs. That's it, I'm only going to look at 2 pairs. This morning, actually, I could have looked at 4 pairs. Now, actually, if I'd been trading it rather than, I was on a Zoom call with the Telegram group. By the way, there's also a link to the Telegram group. It's completely free. I will never ever ask you for money. I am not interested in your money. I will never ever ask for a penny of you guys. I won't ask for donations. I'm not going to ask for nothing. I'm hoping to become a funded trader. That's how I hope to make my money. This is my journey to that end, and if you can benefit from it as well, fantastic. If you like what I'm doing, fantastic. If it helps you, great. If you don't, then go away. Not trying to be rude at all, I promise, but you don't want to waste your time if you don't like what I'm doing. That's it. This is an honest journey that I'm taking, hopefully to become a funded prop trader and change careers. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so this is the way I would do it. So this morning there was actually I could have looked at 4 pairs, and to be honest, if I had entered those 4 pairs, I'd be up over 6% right now using my strategy. Okay, but right now, just say you're sitting down. This is a lot later now. This is not the start of the London session. My time, we're now at 12:30 in the afternoon. But if I was to sit down right now, and this is the first chance I've had to get to the computer, I'm going to sit down and say, right, I'm only going to look at, I'll refreshing and make sure nothing's changed. Right, I'm only going to look at pound yen and pound shift. I'm going to look at nothing else. I'm not going to look at a single other asset. So I come along here, and I'm only going to look at pound shift and pound yen. So I'm going to take my flags off. I'll leave it on that one. That's it. So I'm only going to now look at these 2 pairs. Not euro. There we go. Pound yen and pound shift. I'm not going to look at anything else. I'm not interested in anything else at all. Okay. So let's just say it was first thing in the morning and we're in this situation. Oh no, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it from first thing in the morning. Let's just say it was first thing in the morning. Let's look at the. Let's look at the. This is the Zoom call. There's some markings on it from my Zoom call. Okay. But if I'd come in, this is Forex. This is TradingView, obviously. Forex trading sessions is just an indicator. It's up. It's not even an indicator. It's just an outlay, basically. You see, that's just showing me the London session. The start of the London session is here, and obviously when it's still on at the moment, eventually it'll end, and then the next bar will just be black, and I'll know I'm at the end of the London trading session. The reason I had that, I don't really need it, but it was for my back testing, because I was only back testing. I'd only take a trade if during my back testing it was within the London trading session. So that's all that is. So very quickly, having a look at this, I'm going to run through the indicators really quickly. You can always go back, pause, and then have a look at yourself. I'm not even going to explain the indicators right now at this part. I'm just going to give you the settings, nothing else. This is through extensive back testing. Stochastic RSI, 14.9, 14.14, close. Okay, RSI, 5 periods. I have moved the upper and lower bands both to 50. Because I'm not using it as an oversold or overbought, I'm using it as a momentum indicator only, which is really, to be honest, what RSI was initially intended for. A rune indicator, these are all in TradingView. Green for up, red for down, inputs, 14 periods, same as chart, okay? And that's it, that's my indicators at the bottom. My overlay indicators, this big thick blue line, or if you go back far enough, you see it's a thick yellow line. That's the same indicator. It's just showing that was on. This was showing sell signals, and this was showing buy signals. So this is the super trend, and it is 1 hour. I'm trading, I should say, the 5-minute chart. I use 5 minute for my entry, but it's a multi-time frame trend trading strategy. The reason it's multi-time frame is I'm looking at the 1 hour super trend to know whether I should be looking for longs or shorts. So if you see a blue line that says buy and price is above it, you're looking for longs. If price drops below it, then it's going to change to yellow, and I'd only be looking for shorts. So this is not the same as chart. You see, you can have it the same as chart. This is 1 hour. So on the 5 minute time frame, this blue line is showing me if I were looking at the 1 hour chart, what the super trend would be showing me on the 1 hour. The settings for this are ATR periods 10, ATR multiplier is 1.3. Okay, and then on the 5 minute, my 5 minute super trends are set at 11 and 2. So ATR period is 11 and the ATR multiplier is 2. I've made that a thick line, so if it was green, it'd be a thick green line, and if it was a downtrend, if it was red, it'd be a thick red line. That's just so I can distinguish them on the chart. So that's what I call the long period, if you like, the long period 5 minute super trend, because you notice that said same as chart, so that means we're looking at it on the 5 minute. And my third one was again same as chart, so 5 minute, ATR periods 10, ATR multiplier is 1. Now if you have a look this time, for an uptrend it's a thinner green line, and for a downtrend it's a thinner red line. And that just means when I'm looking here, I can see what I'm looking at. I know that is a short period 5 minute. This is the long period 5-minute super trend, and of course this is the 1 hour super trend. Okay, so that's all my indicators. You can go back if you want to set your charts up this way. Just replay it, pause, look at what I've done there. Okay, my strategy then, in a nutshell. First thing I'll say before I go into strategy, the least important of all the indicators is the stochastic RSI. If that confirms what I'm looking for, great. That's just, like, if you like, icing on top of the cake. However, I'm less worried about that. Even if it's crossed down, I might still enter along. If it's crossed up when I'm looking to enter along, great. And if it's crossed down when I'm looking to enter short, fantastic. But that's icing on top if you'd rather. You don't need that, okay? And you'll see why in a moment. That's just, give me extra confirmation, which would just be nice, but it's not actually necessary, okay? What I must see, RSI, as is a momentum indicator, set the 5 period. If price is above the 50, I'm looking at, that should be showing me bullish momentum. It's a momentum indicator, remember. If it is below the 50, it should be showing me bearish momentum. And that's all I'm using it for, okay? You see here it's below the 50 and price was coming down. Here you see it's above the 50 and price was coming up. Okay, that's it, end of story. That's all we're looking for. So I'm not looking to enter along while it's down, even though, technically, if you got in here, it went long, but at that point it was still showing bearish. It could have come back down. Though with the stochastic, again, this is where the stochastic RSI is handy. That was showing that the blue was, was crossed up. So I felt that was just a pullback, okay? And plus we're above the 1 hour super trend as well, okay? So, to get back to it then, bearish, bullish. The Arun, which you saw set at 14 period, I'm only going to enter longs when the green is above the red. I'm only going to enter shorts when the red is above the green, okay? And everything has to correlate here, okay? So that's that. And then obviously my strategy here is, we're blue, price is above, I'm looking to go long, and I want to see both my 5-minute super trends, both the short and the long, also showing green. Okay, so 8 o'clock this morning, this bar here represents the start of the London session. At the close of that candle, which is here, I'm pointing to this candle. This candle was the 8 to 8:05 candle. This would have been the 8:05 to 8:10 candle. So at that point there, I would be looking to, once the 5-minute candle is closed, and I can look at because things can paint and then unpaint. For example, that sell might appear, but if that candle suddenly went bullish, that would disappear. So you need the candle to close to show that everything's still in place. Hope that makes sense. So I would have been looking to enter a trade there at the close of that candle, and it would have been long. Why? Short was long. Short 5-minute was long. The long period super trend 5-minute was long. The 1 hour is long. The Arun is green. The RSI is above 50. And icing on cake, it doesn't have to be, but it's quite nice if it happens. The stochastic was crossed up and trending up. So 100% here. If I had sat down and I was in the Zoom call on the Telegram this morning, so I didn't actually trade. I wish I had traded. I could have been 6-7% up right now on the 4 pairs that I would have traded. So anyway, let's have a look at this. Just say this was this morning. And because these are pretty much live charts, this is not replay. So, but this is this morning. So I'm back a little bit. I'm back, I'm back like, where are we? I'm back 4 hours at the moment. So if I'd entered a long position here at the close of the 5-minute candle, so the start of the next 5-minute candle, I would have got in there. Okay. So my strategy, there's 2 ways you could play this. My back testing had good results with both, but better with one. So one of my back testing strategies was you pull the stop loss to just below. Now I was doing 2 pips below the 1 hour, so that's what, 25, so I'll be down 3, so there, so that's 2 pips below, okay, and I was setting my take profit at 1 to 1.5, so you can see you would have hit easily 1 to, very quickly, within, what's that, an hour and a half, something like that. You could have got 1.3%, but you set 1.5, it wouldn't have reached it at that point. Would it have reached it? Not yet. Okay, so this is where we are at the moment. Okay, so but you can see right now, if you were still in that trade, you would be up 1.24%. So, oh no, we're here at the moment. Okay, you're up 1.1%. I'll leave that at 1.5 at the moment. So as you see at the moment, that would have been a winning trade at the moment. We'd be up over 1% right now. If you close that trade right now, you'd be up 1%. So that's one way of doing it. Or if it comes down and hits your stop loss, you lose 1%. What I found, however, is the problem is I was hitting 1.5% on my back testing, getting great, and it gave me a higher win rate on this particular strategy. But the problem was sometimes the price, because it was a strong trending pair, yeah, it's a strong trending pair. Pound's really strong, you know, yen's really weak, shift's really weak. If that continues all day, what is going to happen to this? If that happens all day, this price could end up going to the moon, and it did often in my back testing. I was gaining, you know, anywhere between, you know, 3.5% and 6.5% on one trade, and when I was losing trades, I was only losing 1%. There was a lot of round about break even, just under 1%, just under my entry, or just over my entry. So 1/4% loss, 1/4% gain. I just count them as break evens. But certainly this 1 to 1.5 had something like a 70% win rate, which was fantastic. And that was without the benefit of knowing on my back testing whether I was looking at a pair that was strong or weak. You know, I didn't have the benefit of this. When I'm looking at you know, my back testing was starting, say, the beginning of February, end of January, I had no idea if I was sitting at the computer then what this would have showed me, or whether there would have been any restricted news events that meant I wouldn't imagine. You know, if this was now showing me, you know, pounds yellow, shift's yellow, yen's yellow, would I be looking at that pair? No, I wouldn't be looking at that pair. So that was the problem with the back testing, that I didn't know whether I was back testing a pair at that moment that was trending or not. So if it's not trending, I wouldn't have even looked at it. So it kind of made the back testing almost irrelevant, because I had no idea whether I was looking at a pair that I felt was going to trend strong or trend weak. You know, if it wasn't trending, if it's ranging, I wouldn't have even looked at that pair. Only if I felt it was a strong trending pair, I should be looking at it. So the back testing, I couldn't do that. So the figures are skewed a bit, but even still, I was positive. I was 70% win rate, and I grew my theoretical paper account when I was back testing by multiple percent, you know, in double digits percent. However, in saying that, you know, I feel with an edge on the market, which is an economic calendar, let you know if there should be hopefully no major news events for your pair, which could make the price just shift drastically and in the wrong direction. And knowing whether you even want to look at the pair. I mean, would I look at Euro odd right now? No. So, but if I was backtesting Euro odd, I wouldn't know that. So, you know, backtesting feels flawed for that reason, because this strategy it helps if you got this information. This is my edge on the market. So anyway, let's look at the pair then. So that's one strategy. Absolutely, it's, you know, 1 to 1.5. Gave me something like a 70% win rate, and it worked really well. However, backtesting another strategy. What if I didn't set my stop loss? What if I didn't set a stop loss? What if I trailed my stop instead? What that did is it meant, because often when I was hitting take profit at 1.5%, and what I witnessed in my back testing is that pair often went on to get 3.5%, 4.5%, 5%, 6.5% profit if I hadn't taken my profit at 1.5%. So maybe what you could do is say take half your position at 1.5 and let the rest run, or just do what I did in my back testing, which was just let the whole thing run. And how I did that is I trailed the stop. So I didn't set in my MetaTrader, I didn't set a take profit. All I would do would be set a stop loss, because you need to have that in place. You know, you don't want to not enter a trade, no stop loss, go away, have a cup of tea, come back, and you're down 15%. That can happen. Trust me, that can happen. So you've got to set a stop loss, and I was risking 1%, and I only ever risk 1% on a trade. So this blue line, let's say this blue line represents my current stop loss. So there's my current stop loss, yeah? Now what happens, and I'll just replay this here so you can see it. So let's have a look at this strategy then. So as we can see, we're looking at the strategy at the moment. We're waiting for the start of the London session. There's the start of the London session. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. That's just, I've got a little grey column there. Yeah, you can see it down here. It's the start of the London session. I'll wait for that candle to close, which it has just done. And what did I see? I could see that I was in profit. I could see that the 1 hour was long. I was green on the 5 minutes. Arun was green. I was momentum was up according to RSI, and my stochastic was crossed up. Bonus, not necessarily, as I said. So at that point, I was looking to enter a trade. So I'd enter a trade there, set my stop loss. So from that point there, enter the stop loss. And what I was doing is I was setting the stop loss just below the 1 hour. Yeah, set the stop loss just below the 1 hour. So that's what I was doing. I don't know if this is working properly on the back test, and let's have a look. And then all I was doing is so I was setting it, so just here a couple of pips below, so that's where I was doing 2 pips below the 1 hour. So if that's where the 1 hour is, 22, I'll take that down to 20, so 2 pips below it. Yeah, so although I was setting a stop loss on my MetaTrader, if I was doing this for real, I wouldn't actually put a take profit. Okay, that's that. So that's what I was doing. And as you can see, you know, if I was to play that out this morning, if I'd been in this trade this morning, what I was doing is what I'm doing with my strategy and my back testing, once the 1 hour repaints, and if it repaints in a positive direction to my trade, I'll move my stop loss up. If it comes against me, I won't go more than 1%. I won't move my stop loss. Or if it runs sideways, I won't move my stop loss. But if say the 1 hour, I'm looking for longs here, I'm in a long trade, so I'm wanting to see the 1 hour come up to reduce my risk. Yeah, so that's all I was doing. So I was watching this, and when the 1 hour repainted, see here it's repainted. Yeah, to be honest, I could actually set my stop loss. If I got in there, I could have set my stop loss about there. But once it repaints, I'll put that back to where it was. Once it repaints, you can move your stop loss again to just 2 pips below. So where would that be? That would be there. Okay, so I've moved my stop loss. An hour later, I've moved my stop loss to just below break even. You see, I'm almost at break even. That'd be like 0.1, 0.2%. So, you know, if it came down, it'd be a small loss, but I'd call that a break even. Okay, and all I'm going to do with my stop loss is when the 1 hour repaints, if it's going in my direction, I'll move my stop loss. If it runs sideways or backwards, I'll leave it alone. Okay, so let's have a look when it repaints. So let's keep following it. There it is, it's repainted. See, it's repainted now. So now I'm going to move my stop loss to 2 pips below. So that would be 63, just about there, 2 pips below. So you can see right now, although I started, you know, with my 1 to 1.5 risk to reward, right now I would have locked in 0.3%. So not earth shattering at the moment, but you know, I'm keeping my stop loss at a sensible trailing distance that you know, the small retracements shouldn't stop me out. But right now, as you can see, if I was in that trade, I've at least secured, it's a no risk trade, and I've secured 0.3%. Obviously, if I was still in the trade and decided to close it up here, I'd be, you know, 1.2% up. Okay, but that's how I was trailing this in my back testing. So again, let's just play it out, see where we are currently. Very close to stopping me out, and I would have got stopped out there. Okay, so I would have got stopped out, and I would have been up. Let me get rid of that. I would have been stopped out. I would have made 0.3%. So what? I made 0.3%. Yeah, if I'd done 1 to 1.5, you see, I would never have reached that either. So if I had been, the difference is if I hadn't set this up and walked away, you know, stop loss 1%, take profit 1.5%, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it. It would have come down. Oh, mind you, I've still been in the trade, but eventually this would come back and hit my 1%, my 1% stop loss. Right now, I've secured 0.3%. That doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, 3.3%, and you're up nearly 1%. So, and obviously, if you just keep trailing this out, eventually, if price goes back in your direction, and just say I hadn't got stopped out there, if I had been sensible, right now my stop loss would be about here. So you know, my stop loss would be at break even, just above break even. And as you can see, I don't know why that's repainted. That's a bit weird. I think that something funny went there. I looked at this earlier and I wouldn't have got stopped out, which is why I'm a bit confused. I think this is just the replay mode that's causing problems. But you can see at the moment, if I was still in the trade, I'd be 1.08% up, and my stop loss I'd be about break even. So it's a no risk trade. Now I found that what was happening is sometimes this kept going up and up and up and up and up and up and up because it was a strong, really strong trending pair, which is the only pairs I'm going to be looking at. I'm only going to look at strong trending pairs. I'm not looking at anything else. I'm not interested in anything else. What did we say? That was Euro and Pound JPY was the other one. So just quickly then for the that's Pound JPY, Pound Shift. Let's have a look at Pound Shift. Again, this is the two that right now you're saying you could look at. So let's have a look at these. That was the start of my trading session. We were green. I would have waited till here because I wanted to see the first 1 hour paint. So to be honest, I would have got in this candle. It doesn't matter that we're almost, technically overbought. That would just been ideal if it wasn't, if it was still working its way up and crossed up. But let's just say I'd got in at that point. I waited for this entry because at that point, green Arun, we've got positive RSI. The stochastic had been trending up. It had been coming up. So just say we had got in on that candle this morning. So that's where it painted the 1 hour. So it would have been the next candle. So I would have got in there. I would have set my stop loss here, a couple of pips below. And right now, if I were still in that trade, I would be I could have got certainly up to 2%. Current price right now, it would be 1.78% up, which is fantastic. Would I have got stopped out? Obviously, my first stop loss was here. Puppy's making noises. Hey, leave that alone. So what would I have done? I would have checked in an hour. I would have my stop loss to about here. Still safe. It ran sideways, so I wouldn't have moved my stop loss. It would have still been here. Right now, my stop loss would be here. So yeah, absolutely. The problem is, you can see we're still at a loss if it goes against me. But if not, this could run all day long. This could literally run. I mean, we've still got 4 hours in the London trading session. If this just keeps going up and up and up and up, I keep moving my stop loss up. And at the end of the London trading session, even if I'm still in profit, because I'm not going to be around to manage it and move my trailing stop, if I'm in profit, I'm just going to close my trade, and I can be closing my trade with 3, 4, 5% profit. So that's my strategy in a nutshell. I'm sure it's got flaws. If you can see improvements, leave comments. Absolutely. I will backtest any of your improvement ideas, and if it works, I'll incorporate it because I want to win. So I want to win this. I want to become a funded prop trader. So, if you can come up with a great suggestion or a better strategy or an improvement in this strategy, I will happily look at it, and if I feel it's good, I will incorporate it in my strategy. I'm not too proud to do that because I'm not a guru. Trading's at your own risk. Follow my strategy, improve upon my strategy. Hopefully, you'll see success, and if not, it's at your own risk. If you don't like it or you don't trust it, don't use it. Please don't use it if you don't like it or don't trust it. This is what I'm going to use now. I've got my new FTMO challenge effectively started on Friday. I didn't really trade, so I'm still at effectively break even. So I am looking to grow my account and get my 10% hopefully within the 22 allotted trading days. There's 21 trading days left if you include today. And that's it. I'm hoping to obviously become a funded trader. This is my journey. Hopefully you like my strategy, and hopefully you like what I'm trying to do. It's a vlog. It's an honest vlog. The good, the bad, and the ugly. As I said, it's not always going to win. No strategy is perfect. If someone tells you their strategy is perfect, they either don't know what they're doing or they're lying. This is not a perfect strategy. It will have losses. But through my back testing, as I said, I've back tested hundreds of pairs, different indicators, different settings within the indicators, and I like this strategy. I feel it's good, and I'm going to use it for me. If you like it, you can use it for you, then fantastic. And if it works for you, even better. Let's share our success. Why not? So hopefully you like my video, you like what I'm trying to do, and if you have liked the video, please do me a solid. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Other people can find me if you give me a thumbs up and like. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. Maybe you'll be the 100th subscriber, which would be great for you, even better for me, and that would be absolutely fantastic if you could do that. So thanks very much for joining me. I've been prattling on for nearly, what's that, 35 minutes. So hopefully you like it. Leave your comments, leave your suggestions. Use the strategy if you like it. Please use the strategy if you like it. Improve upon it if you can. Remember, there's risks involved in trading. Be it on your own head. I am not a guru. I'm not a financial advisor. We say it's for entertainment purposes only, but really educational purposes only, to educate myself and hopefully educate you. But I am not a guru. So, if you have loss, be it on your own head. If you don't want to risk the loss, then do not follow me. Do not follow my strategy. That's all I can really say about that. But good luck with your trading and your trading journey. Let me know what you're doing and how you're doing it. I'm always interested to hear what other people are doing, and often by listening to other people, I come up with great ideas that can help me as well. So as much as I'm trying to help you, you can help me just as much if we all share and work together. And let's get our edge in the market could be our support of each other, and that would be good enough for me. So thanks very much for joining me. Catch you on the next video. Hope you've liked this. Take care of yourselves and good success with your trading. Thanks very much. Bye.